ready. There we go. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out here tonight to the BNR Xfinity Series as we head to Sonoma. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that so they don't see that. So we head to Sonoma. A little bit of a smaller field. Not a lot of our guys like road course racing, so that'd be that. So Sonoma, West Coast side of things here. 25 laps. I'm going to go over a little bit of the race day information beforehand. So, see here, Sonoma. It is a 1.9 mile track. 18-foot altitude, so a lot of ups and downs and tough brake points, tough lifting points. But anyway, the weather is 76 degrees, 38% humidity, partly cloudy with a 9 mile per hour. This is playoff round 1, race 3. They do get 75% fuel and 4 sets of tires, and we have 1 quick fix. So tough times for most, some is good. As we see there, not too many people are going to run out here, or they attempted to and just couldn't get it going. So we got a lot of guys on the pits there. I do believe Dave Berry will try to come out and set the pace here tonight. If not, then they're all just going to start wherever they grid up and go from there. Yes, I don't believe nobody else is going to go out. Hey, there's the wonderful drag strip. So, as we see here, I'll go over a few things here. So as of right now, the only one locked in is Dave. So Philip still races in, Jacob, Jackson, Brandon, Mark, Aaron, Chris are above the cutoff line coming into tonight's race. Under the cutoff line is Joe, Josh, Tyler, and Jim. So all fighting for that round of 8 here tonight. So it's going to be an interesting one for sure. So we're looking forward to seeing how this race plays off. As you see here, 10 drivers here tonight. Alright, we'll go over the starting grid real quick. So P1 would be Dave Berry, P2 would be Mark Berry, P3 would be Brandon Moore, P4 would be Joe, P5 would be Josh, P6 would be JD O'Brien, P7 would be Tyler, P8 will be Bradford, P9 would be Chris Campbell, and P10 will be Phillip. 10 drivers here tonight, 25 lap race, all playoff drivers besides one. And good evening, Will. How are you doing here tonight?
I'm doing alright. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing quite swell. Thank you very much. Gonna enjoy my 2 days off and Had some fun. Well, besides bringing the dog to the vet tomorrow, but that's besides that. So, Will, the wonderful world of Sonoma, as we see there to the left, that wonderful drag strip.
Yes, a multi-purpose facility here at Sonoma.
Not too much of a hefty field, but that's alright. They get through quick. I'm not too sure this is a stand-and start or they're just gonna roll around. It might be a stand-and start. I think he has it set up right. I'm not too sure.
Is there a pace truck in front of the field? Or a pace car in front of the field?
Yes, there is. Okay, yeah, it's a formation lap. So, Will, Sonoma. Let's go ahead and give a little information about Sonoma here. As these drivers send their pace around. Boy, that
Fun little tidbit. 2023 marks the 53rd year of operations here at Sonoma. Most of the time, 12-turn facility. 1968 was when ground was broken. The hills were paved here at Sonoma. It sits about 30 minutes outside of San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge, so that's a fun little fact there. Dan Gurney won the first USAC race held here for Open Wheel, or IRL, here in North America. Then that was in 1970, so a good bit before NASCAR comes here. NASCAR comes here in 1989 with their debut after running for so many years in Riverside, California, before that racetrack got turned into a subdivision. Ricky Rudd wins the first event held here. Then the Craftsman Truck Series brings their trucks here in 95 for a few years. So that's a good, rough rundown here of Sonoma. Multiple racing series race here yearly. GT Open America, or GT World Challenge America, NHRA drag racing comes here to race on the drag strip.
As we see here, Will, they get ready to go. Sorry, did not mean to cut you off. As they get ready to
you're good.
turns 1, coming through turns 2. As they're...
Everybody.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Just going to say, looks like...
loses it.
I was going to say, looks like everybody made it up and down the hill successfully, but I was going to speak too soon, so unfortunate for Tyler. The car just kind of slipped out away from him. He got out in the sand. It looked like he took the right sides and dipped them off into the sand.
Oh, yes.
Got to be very careful here. You got to keep it. This is most definitely a track you want to keep it on the island between the painted lines here, and not dip the tires off in the sand or sometimes grass. Depending on the time of year here, the track will have a tad bit of grass. It looks more dirty, but during other parts of the year, it looks very, very sandy. You're good.
See there, Joe has no front of that car, and Campbell there, lock up there, going through there. But Joe's type, you see there in the back, just finessing around a little bit. A lot of these guys are not real pro swingers, we know that for sure. But 25 laps here, I know they were putting down, well, Brandon put down, oh, JD's off track there in his hand pit, I think it was a 2:18.5 think a 2:18.7. He was the fastest one. But Brandon also has been doing, me and him and Richard also been doing a lot of touring cars, so getting my hands all wet in that too as well. So
yeah, a GT4 car, for the most part, depending on which GT4 car, because most there's a handful of GT4 cars where you still have to shift with a manual gearbox. That would be very similar to these Xfinity cars, even though most, if not everybody, for the most part, there's probably a few people in the field that are actually shifting with a shifter, but for the most part, I would imagine just about everybody using their paddle or flappy paddle shifters on their steering wheel.
yes,
But
a lot of quick downshifts, a lot of quick upshifts. I did get reports of very loose cars, very loose on the braking, and we gotta watch those turtles as that happens. So Brandon Moore is gaining every little ounce on Dave there, Will. So it's going to be a battle to keep an eye on as Mark Berry's bringing up the rear. So I do believe I heard Discord ding a little bit. Yes, we got quite a few other commentary folks in here. Oh, contact by Brandon Moore and Dave Berry.
yeah, it says Brandon Moore does some bahaing through what would be the chicane portion of that portion of the track, and really heavy damage to the right front of Brandon Moore. That was a big, significant hit
There goes Joe.
that they suffered. Yeah, Joe is missing a hood, front clip, and he is, where were we in the trucks? Where were we?
This week?
Gateway?
Yeah, Gateway.
Yeah, he was doing really well at Gateway.
Yes. Well, we got a couple of fellow commentators in here. We got Chris. Good evening, Chris. And Kyle. Good evening, Kyle. Well, they come locked and heavy here, so I guess they want to enjoy the excitement here, watch all the slip-ups and mess-ups from the guys here tonight at Sonoma. So you guys have a lot to look at with just these 10 folks here. So something did happen to Philip Will. I do believe he had a little, yes. Oh, we'll go back and look at this real quick. Little contact made by Bridgman and JD. Come back and focus here. Oh, Philip hit the tires there. That's going to be costly a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, looks like he will hopped it into the corner, locked it up as well. And those, unlike real life, those tire barriers are tire, I guess, basically to help to not cut the corner more than what you could, I suppose, because you could kind of ride that rumble strip. If you hit the corner just right, you could get in there and really straddle that rumble strip pretty good, I imagine. But those tires are there to protect that corner to where you're not going to be cutting it more, and etc. And fortunately, got Philip really good. Those tires, no budgie on iRacing.
Nope, they're solid. Impressive run for Josh Small, I would say. Pretty good. Just bought the track today, so put some practice down. I guess he is finessing a little bit with the track. Bradford also kind of sort of like Sonoma, so good to see these guys step out of their comfort zone a little bit, gather as many points as they can get tonight, so hopefully to advance their position into the round of 8. So next week these drivers will be at Nashville, and then Chicago Street, and then Atlanta.
well, challenging tracks still to come, but they are currently on, I would say, Sonoma, pretty challenging track. It seems to be, it really wants to be a fast road course, but there are portions of the track to where you're really woed down at times, and it brings you back to, hey, I'm basically driving through the farm hills of California, pretty much. A lot of kind of, in a way, off camber corners. The hills and elevation changes that you kind of face here.
Something did happen to Campbell, and then Phillip just wrecked too as well. We'll go back and look at those two. But you see here Campbell coming through a couple of these tricky turns here.
Yeah, that is the S's going through the back portion of the track. Just kind of gets it wrong, taking that kind of right-hander into that like short, kinked straight. And looking here at Phillip now, and he just hits the kinked punch straight away.
And I do believe, Will, that will blow his motor here for the night.
Yeah, he's probably going to get a tow and go back to the pits, and going to have to repair that car if he can. Get it back out there before this race is completed. That looks like it could be a lot of required repair, Brian.
Oh, yes, indeed, Will. You see there these up parts of the section here through turn
Tyler
22.
locked up and lost a position to Aaron. Like you say, Aaron doing a good job keeping it on the island, it looks like, unlike some of his fellow competitors. So it seems, kind of seeing a pattern with Tyler. He's driving a Camaro this evening. Normally he's been driving Fords and like Roush paint schemes or something like that, and does better with that, kind of has better luck with that. He's got a lot of green on that car. I'm not normally one for superstitions, but the only superstition I kind of live and stand by is too much green on the race car can be a bad omen. So I actually do believe in that.
That is very
so think of all the times that Dell Jr. came close to winning a race at Talladega, but yet he had Mountain Dew or some type of green on the car, and for some reason just never could win that race. But really
Phillip did use a quick fix. He did get back to pit road fine without towing, so that's a big plus. But Phillip is currently one lap down at this time.
Yes, I was going to say he will be the first and only competitor one lap down at the moment out of this 10-car field this evening. So
as you see here, Bradford just pacing himself, trying to run down Josh.
Stipe, Campbell, and O'Brien kind of in that delta or that range of in fear of being close to being a lap down, I would say.
I would say so too. But a lot of these drivers are learning the track well. So, won't knock anybody. This is a tough track, which you guys will be seeing the Cup drivers come to this track in the upcoming weeks too as well. So you probably see a couple of familiar faces and probably some new ones for sure, but a lot of trickiness for sure. So like I said, next week, these guys are heading asphalt super speedway, another concrete surface track like Dover. Abrasive on tires for sure. I do believe these drivers will be pitting in the next upcoming handful of laps here. As you see, Josh Small is going to let Phillip Bridgman go. So
I think they might have enough fuel to make it all the way.
If they do, that is awesome. or maybe possibly cutting it close. But good pace by these guys, which brought Bradford a little closer to Josh. But Tyler is right on the back end of Bradford. So we'll watch this battle as it intensifies. Possibly.
Yeah, like you say, Tyler caught back up to Bradford. Let's see. Bradford kind of runs wide there out of or through that kind of kink portion of the track coming into the pit road entry area / into the hairpin. Good side-by-side battle down the front straightaway.
Oh, yeah.
Notice how the front straightaway is just kind of its own multiple. Oh, Bradford had a moment right midpoint up the hill. Don't know if Myers got a hold of him or what. That camera angle just a bit too far back and everything, but maybe the car just kind of slipped up from underneath Aaron and darted towards the grassy sand.
As you see, Brandon Moore will set the pace. He's got almost 6 seconds on Dayberry, as you see there. Josh Small
having a problem. Yep, that's right into the S's. Or in the middle of the S's, it looked like, so.
Yeah. But if I'm Josh, I'm just going to keep going. Scrounge up as many points as possible. Yes, you're taking that turn a little bit too far.
Well, his toe may be knocked out of alignment there. Oh, we have another driver. Might have been Phillip again.
Yeah, that was Phil. As we watch again. I wonder if he made contact with those tires again. Oh, a blink. Welcome back. No. Oh.
He just kind of wheel hopped it again, but very late in the corner, and just kind of picked back up the power, spun it around. So,
as we come back here with Josh. So road courses tend to go quick, so you carry too much speed there into the tires there. Ricochets off. Tyler does a great job by getting slowed down a little bit. So they will continue to run around here and drive. So tough.
Yeah, got to be very, very careful here, especially going through those, leading yourself into the S's and carrying yourself through them. That very middle portion can be very difficult.
There goes Phil again. Poor Phil. Having a bad night here at Sonoma.
Now that 7 car, that could be Phil out of the race, to be honest. That was another hard impact to the tires. So wouldn't be surprised if he's kind of out of the race this evening.
No, he's still going.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes the camera views throw me off. It's like, oh, Bradford too hot.
Yep.
Keeps her off the wall there. Good job by Brad.
That is a very easy spot to do that with, because that is a blind uphill, just kind of trying to get the car back straight, and you're just kind of letting the car carry the momentum towards the end of the track, but sometimes you just venture a bit too far. Looks exactly like what Aaron did there.
Yes. So as we see here, Campbell is now in the pits.
He also missed the corner entry for that as well.
Yeah. But these drivers are slowly in danger of going a lap down. But they got a whole, I'll say a good 3 or 4 seconds, possibly if that, ahead of Brandon, or possibly more, so. Oh, Bradford loops her around again.
Yeah, that was pretty much our closest battle on track between Josh and Aaron. So sad to see, but maybe it might come back eventually as far as just everybody making mistakes all at once.
"12 laps to go."
Really, biggest excitement so far of the evening was when.
Again.
Oh man.
Same spot as last time.
Yep. Don't know if he carried too much speed in that time. Maybe turned the wheel too much to the right for that little right-hander into the left, like right before that left-hand exit, or maybe he was trying to get the power down midway point through the S's, and sometimes that's just a no-go. You just got to let it, once you've entered, and then you kind of maybe pump the throttle, and you just kind of coast through them, perhaps. That very tricky here at Sonoma. Each lap can be different.
Dave Barry's now pitting Will, so I do believe these drivers will have to pit. So
yeah,
unless Barry might have maybe had some contact, maybe some damage, caused them to slow down.
Well,
we're not too sure.
Well, yeah, Brandon and Dave did have that contact there early on, going through the back portion, the final sector of the track. So, don't know if that has hampered him and making him losing that time and coming down pit road, or what. But
so Brandon Moore in the clutches of Bradford there, looking to put him a lap down in that 47 Blue Moon Ford. So see that Brandon gets through that last turn very good.
oh yeah, very, very, very well racing line Brandon has down packed here at Sonoma. That camera, very, very frustrating there because we lose them for just a couple of seconds. That was the camera angle, I believe, that we lost.
Bradford and
we couldn't quite, we couldn't quite see what happened there, but Brandon's racing line, I'm gonna almost say close to Caleb Sellner, almost looks like a bot. Just how smooth he is being, and that's exactly what you want to do at any road course in particular. You want to be smooth on it. Smooth is fast. So,
yep, as Bradford moves out the way. So that will be that. Oh, as the rear end slips away from Brandon.
you're more than likely trying to get back to the throttle a lot sooner than he had the previous couple of corners, because we saw the last lap he was just able to get through it perfectly fine. That's what I kind of say earlier, how each lap vastly different sometimes, more times than not. especially on road courses. Ovals, you can almost get the same lap. Granted, the lap time may be a couple of tenths off, but here, uh, it has a vast array of being, almost a second off or 8 tenths off from what you were doing the last lap prior, or you just kind of take one corner slightly different than you did. It is so easy to just make it just the slightest mistakes, and we have seen a lot of those this evening.
Oh yeah. 9 laps to go, coming to 8. Brandon is still out on the track. I'm not too sure if he can make it all the way. We'll just have to wait and see and find out. But he can clutch majority of the corners since he's got a almost 43-second gap between second place. As you see there, Philip Bridgman off course again.
Yeah, Brandon has a fantastic buffer. This is exactly the type of gap anybody would want on a road course, or even an oval for that matter, to just be able to be in the lead. So,
for the most part.
And not have to worry too much what's behind you. Just keep looking out the windshield, driving forward.
So Brandon gets a good run through that portion of the track as Philip was gonna arc his turn in, but he saw Brandon coming, so he just decided to let Brandon go. As 7 laps here complete. Sorry, 7 laps are left. Josh now in danger to fall in the clutches of Brandon. Boy, Joe has no rear end too, so I wonder how the back of that car is doing with no rear there.
Now, very possibility of just ill-handling car, but he's somehow just still wheeling it, so...
Oh, as Joe's off track there, you see JD get slowed down in time so he doesn't clobber Joe.
Joe almost clobbered the tire wall there.
Oh, yeah. I would probably say Brandon's probably got this wrapped up in his hands along with the berries there.
Wonder how Joe lost his rear clip. That's kind of a mystery within of itself, you know.
It might have been right here. Yes, because he still has his rear here.
Oh.
Alright, it wasn't that one. That was the first one. And then there was this one. Yep.
Oh, right there it was. Yeah, that whole lap there, the whole front straightaway was not kind to Joe. Whichever lap that was, so...
And then Philip went back off. One of these... Oh, that's right, that's him. Was moving out the way for Brandon. I don't know why they said that this was a caution. Or, I mean, a crash. I would just say he gladly got out the way and...
Yeah, Brandon just got to him at a bad spot, and he did a good juke to get out the way of him.
Five laps to go. Josh Small went a lap down to Brandon. Oh, I like that 2 car. Old Skull, Harry Gant. I do believe.
Yep.
Good to see JD out here making laps, driving around, getting used to it. Like I said, a lot of these guys are absolutely short tracks and mile and a half super speedway drivers, that's for sure. But it's always good to see what they have coming out to road courses. So
yes, indeed, Brian. It would have been nice to see just a couple of more drivers out and about, but fortunately that's just the case this evening. Only 10, like you say, but
there's a couple of drivers still coming home from work, didn't think they would make it, so unfortunately work does pay you better than sitting behind a computer and racing. So I would take the money over sitting behind a
just any anything is understandable, being able to or not being able to race. So I was just saying, just kind of.
Oh, something happened to Bradford. Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, too hot in. Make some lovey-dovey to those tires there.
And he really overcooked the entry into the final corner there.
And I wonder if he loses it again. He just said he got 2 of them. Just that one. 3 laps to go. Brandon Moore, Mark Berry, Dave Berry, Tyler, Josh, Bradford, JD, Campbell, Bridgman, and Stipe. Like I said, I would say Brandon Moore probably got this one in the bag. Like I said, maybe Dave came down to fix the damage to get better handling of the car, but Dave is ever so slightly running down his brother Mark.
Aaron Bradford in a Mark Martin Busch Grand National paint scheme.
Oh yeah.
Once I got a better look at it, so a couple of drivers out here running kind of throwback paint schemes, if you will. So
yeah, I was trying to figure out which one that one was. The Winn-Dixie.
Yep, the number 60 car. About I want to say 94, 93 onward. Because either before or after, I think it was before Jeff Gordon drove for Bill Davis in the Xfinity Series, Mark Martin did And then after that, I think Mark and Jack made that Xfinity team, where Mark went on to break a couple of records of his own, or not of his own, but break some NASCAR records, or make some NASCAR records.
Oh, yeah. So as Tyler comes, it takes 2 to go. JD off track again. Thank God there's nobody around.
You sure it's not 1 to go?
Brandon hasn't crossed the line yet to take 1 to go. Rough go for Phil here. You see Philip off track. Brandon's coming to cross the line to take the white flag right now. So this will be the final lap for Brandon.
I think Philip's car is done now. I don't know if he'll make that to the checkered or not. So close to getting it home after those long struggles that he had. Good little fight with who was that? I want to say O'Brien and Campbell fighting for 7th and 8th.
Yes.
No, that's not.
Oh no,
that's not Campbell. That's Barry.
Oh yeah.
My eyes be deceiving me again.
Oh, I think Brandon's out of gas.
Really?
Yeah, look. Oh. Never mind. Looked like he was.
I guess just letting Josh finish on the lead lap, perhaps. Not too sure, but
yes.
Brandon Moore takes the checkered flag here this evening at Sonoma BNR Xfinity Series. Looks like battle's going to be between Mark and his brother Dave for that second spot. Looks like Dave is just a couple of maybe corners. Well, not quite corners, but there we go, just a few car lengths behind. So right now, this is still the battle for second and third. Tyler Myers. Yeah, Myers right there. So second, third, fourth. Myers takes a look to the inside of Dave Berry. Gets better traction out of the corner. Dave's going to lose that third spot, perhaps, to Tyler. Coming to the line, Tyler sideways. Oh, man. That is too close to call from that angle. Don't know who got third. Man, oh, man. I talked about it earlier, how the front straightaway has its own characteristics about, multiple dog legs, if you will. Just really good, hard racing to the line. Who did you say, Brian? Dave? Man, wow.
Dave got third.
I don't think Dave touched him. I think Dave stayed off of him. I think he just got loose trying to get through that little kink there, Brian.
Yeah, we'll ride back on with Dave here. I don't think Dave made contact. I think Tyler just shifted a little bit more.
I think when he got the horsepower back down through, they could have made contact. It was just the slightest of contacts if they did, that's for sure, man. Like that, they were so close together. Slightest little bit of neck code or contact right there, perhaps, maybe. and just how they were leaning on one another. Man, good racing, hard
I would
racing there
say
at the end.
for sure, definitely. I would say. Well, so Brandon ran away with that.
Oh, for sure he did. Yes.
Let me see that. So maybe we can get a chit chat with old Dave. Mr. Barry.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Well, looks like you guys had a pretty eventful Sonoma race this evening. You and Brandon had some contact there early on. Why don't you tell us about it from your point of view?
Yeah, I was just actually setting up to let him by down the straightaway, and I didn't expect him to come on the inside. And next thing you know, I look over and his car's ramped up like he's Evel Knievel over there, And so, yeah, I mean, we still had fun. I mean, it was
Oh yeah.
we were all over the place, just slipping and sliding, and I even came in and tried fixing my car, and I went back out, and I just still couldn't figure out nothing. I just this track is just horrible for me.
And then, you, your brother, Tyler Myers, are there at the end. Holy moly, what a battle or a finish you guys had that skirmish for the
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think it'll be fun. And that's what I like about this league. Everybody at BNR is just amazing to race with. So I just have fun week in, week out, and I'm really enjoying it myself.
well, shout outs or anything, Dan?
BNR broadcast. You guys do an amazing job. I can't wait to go back and watch some of this fiasco. So, um, it, yeah, I've already, went back and watched the very last lap there with Tyler. So that was just fun. So, congratulations to Mark. I see you got second. I could never get past him, even though he got into somebody there on track. I think JD was in the middle of a corner trying to get out of the way, but Mark was right there, so he just kind of went and T-boned him. But uh, I still couldn't do anything. I just couldn't get a hang of the track and couldn't get the car hooked up right. So just thanks to everybody. Great race. A lot of fun.
Well, best of luck to you next week at Nashville, David, and hopefully talk to you some point next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Hey, Mark, you got a copy? Well, what an awesome run between you and your brother. You got P2. Your brother obviously had to pit, so that gave you a little bit more leeway a little bit. And that little contact you made with JD towards the end there, unfortunately JD got loose, and you had collected him. So what was going through your head at that point of time when you hit him? Like, oh crap, now am I going to lose everything that I gained on my brother? Or let me keep my head in the rhythm, let me just keep pushing, I know I can beat my brother. It's been a back and forth battle between me and him all day. So what was going through your head at that point in time? Right. So overall, I would say good race. A lot of ups, a lot of downs for some. Give me a thorough rundown of your overall performance and just how the overall race went itself. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next week, y'all head to Nashville. What's gonna be your overall thoughts going into Nashville? I'm not too sure if you have the track. I know your brother didn't, as we were talking to him. But what's going to be your mindset going into Nashville? Another concrete track that's going to eat up tires left and right. Um, so yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I want to say congratulations to you on your P2. It is awesome to have you and your brother here every week. Couldn't thank for much more. Me and Will enjoy calling the commentary with all you guys, so we thank you guys a lot. But anyway, any uh, love or shout out you want to give? All right, sir. Will, you got anything for Mark? Not a problem. All right, Mr. Will, I will let you finish out the whole night in general, and we'll let you talk to Brandon. Where's he at? Right here. Mr. B. Moore, you got a copy. Right on. Go ahead, Will. Floor is yours.
Well, Brandon, you look to have a really good piece under you the whole race this evening. Um, early contact early on between you and Dave. It sounds from the gist of things that Dave was going to let you go, just maybe miscommunication perhaps from both ends, and you just kind of ramped off of him there like you were doing some type of uh, kickflip. But other than that, the race went fairly swell for you. Uh, I at one point called you a bot because your racing line looked so, planted at times. Just talk about how you were out there being so consistent just about every lap. Out there being able to pull away and win this race with the gap that you did.
Yeah, overall it was a really good race, and yeah, me and Dave was talking about it. I didn't know he was thinking about letting me go there, but I got such a good run out of the S's that I'm like, well, I'm gonna get my nose in there to the inside, which I had more than nose. I think I had a fender, and I don't think that Dave realized that I was already in there. And by that time we had contact, and then I got sent off into the sand, and I'm lucky I didn't wreck it there. And then I was telling Dave I was sorry about that, and I was gonna let him go, and he wouldn't let me give the position back, so we just kept on doing what we were doing. That's where you kind of seen us slow down there, but yeah, overall it was really good. It's just tire management, keeping the tires on it. Learning how to throttle off without spinning the tires, and just hitting your marks because you overdrive one of these corners, it's real easy to get it off track there. Which a couple of times I about really boofed it, but didn't boof it enough to cost me a win.
Yes, you like you say you had your own mistakes, but not a big enough mistake to be costly enough.
No.
That that's kind of, if you are going to make a mistake, that's kind of what you need to do to lose said race. Kind of like we saw the other night in the truck series. There, just about everybody made mistakes, and then you saw the ones that made the worst mistakes. But
Mm-hmm.
that that's pretty much part of racing. But uh, when we come to road courses and pretty much any league, but BNR in particular, what do you look forward the most racing the road courses, Brandon?
As far as track wise,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it's gonna sound like just because I won here tonight, I'm just gonna say this, but this is probably my favorite road course. It just it's such a unique track. It's got so much different elevation changes, and you kind of have to know how to throw the car, into corners a certain way. Especially through the S's, trying to get the S's hitting just right and hitting apex to apex. It's a fun place.
It truly is. Well, Brandon, is there anything else you'd like to add? Maybe give some shout outs for tonight?
Well, I just want to say the place. The tire management also was really good. A lot of guys, a lot of guys were saying that the tire management was good.
Kansas. Crack it open for Dale. Yes, sir. We'll get back up there with you. Awesome job locking yourself into round two. Best of luck to you in round two and throughout the rest of the playoffs here tonight. Not a problem. Well, Will, that will close it out. If you want to do the honorary duties of that, that would be fantastic. If not, I understand. The fastest race we've ever done. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I would agree with you. Excuse me. Uh-uh.